Hi, I've been playtesting the Battle of Britain card game, and I thought I'd do a quick review, give me some thoughts, highlight some of the interesting mechanics of the game. First up, quality of the components is excellent. The cards are super durable. I've got the other games in this series. I've backed them on Kickstarter. I've taken them on holidays, taken them in my suitcase, played this game series quite a lot, and the cards are brilliant. The quality of the thickness of the cards is lovely. They've got a really great finish on them. I haven't needed to sleeve the cards from the other games. And in terms of the artwork, is absolutely fantastic. I cannot stress enough how beautiful the art is of the actual cards. Let's pick here we go. It's got a really nice period feel. Everyone I've played this game with will often say, "Oh, wow, the Spitfire looks great." Obviously, although the 109s, just beautifully done. There's a Junkers, beautifully done artwork. The readability of the cards is awesome. Obviously, a lot of time and care and attention has been put into the components, the layout of the cards. The rules are also on cards, so the game is very self-contained. It's a small footprint box. The box is incredibly sturdy, which is great because I literally have thrown this in a suitcase. The rules are just over 3 cards, highly organised, very readable, absolutely no problems with the rules whatsoever. And I've got my kids, my eldest boy Robin, who's 13 this week. I asked him to read the rules to see if he understood them. No problem at all. The game is recommended, 8+. I would agree with that. I played it with my younger kids around that age, and they had no problems playing it whatsoever. In terms of the types of cards, I've laid this out. Broadly, this is how you'd be playing. Your only difference is you'd have your battle cards and your tactic cards in your hand. But basically what you have is your battle cards here, which are your planes. For example, that's lovely, Spitfire. Each game is a series of battles. As you're playing the battles and winning and losing, the air superiority card is going from one player to the other, and believe you me, it does. So battle cards are your planes. You're going to be choosing one of those per battle. You have a number of tactic cards. They basically increase the value. For example, this bomber is a 4. They increase the value of that value broadly. You don't have as many of those, so you've got to pick and choose the battles where you're going to play those. The dogfight cards at the end here. Some of the battle cards, here's an example, have the subtext dogfight. If they have a dogfight, instead of using the value to see who wins and the highest value wins, you instead use the dogfight cards. They are like sort of rock, paper, scissors type mechanic, and a lot of fun because you think you're going to choose the high card. There's fighter with a Spitfire with a value of 8. That's a high value card. You think to yourself, I'm going to win this battle. Oh, lo and behold, the opposing player's also chosen a card with dogfight. Then you're playing that rock, paper, scissors to see who wins. It's a lot of fun. And that's a new mechanic in this series. The other new mechanic in the series is around the Squadron Cards. These I've laid out here. These will be on the table. That's how I play anyway. They're all at value 0. Every time you win a battle, you can rotate your cards 1 step. So from 0 to 1, example 1 to 2, or you can rotate your opponent's cards as well. And often as not, we found the most fun is when you start rotating your opponent's cards, because not all the cards are good. Not all of them are good. Some of them can buff your values, and some of them can detract from it as well. So that's a lot of fun. How the actual game works is every battle you pick a RAF. So for example, I'm playing the RAF, I'll pick an RAF battle card, and if I wanted to, I would pick a tactic card first. In addition to that, every round has an event. So this event, which is open and everyone can see it, is the Luftwaffe fighter battle cards are at -2. So the Luftwaffe are at a disadvantage. Now this example, and I actually I've set this up. This is a battle that that came out of a game that I played the other day with my son Robin. His cards were on a -2. I thought to myself, I'm bound to win this this battle. He will want to win this battle because when you win a battle, you can change that card. So I think to myself, he's going to want to win to remove that card and change it for a new event card. So I'll pick a fairly high, moderate value of a 4, thinking that if he picks a fighter, he'll be on a -2. And we put our cards down so we can't see them, and then they're revealed at the same time. So there's my bomber at a 4. Now Robin had picked a bomber at 5 in this example, and he picked a Luftwaffe tactic card that enabled him to look at my card and then change that card for another one if he'd have so wished. So as it happened, he won this round. And if I'd have picked a higher value, he could have changed that for a higher one or for a very low one and thrown that card away to get it out of his hand so that he'd win subsequent rounds. Now, by winning that round, in that particular example, this card here was on a 2, and he rotated my card to the 3, which meant that I had the poor serviceability of my planes, which effectively meant that I got my planes on a -1. So he was basically using his tactics to hinder my cards, and instead of exchanging that, he chose that instead, which was just a super interesting sort of tactic that he'd played. And as it happened, he won several battles, even though he was on a -2. So even if the odds are stacked against you, you can still, by clever use of your cards, and I would describe it in a way, it's like bluffing. You know, you don't know when you lay down your battle cards and you lay down, if you want to choose a tactic card, you don't know what your opponent's going to be doing. You can, once you've played the game quite a few times, you can sort of, you think, oh, I think they're going to use a high value card, so I'm going to use a low value card so that they'll easily win, but that means that low value card will now be out of my hand, and you have those kind of tactics and that kind of gameplay. The game doesn't take very long to set up and play, half an hour comfortably. You can play slightly longer games if you want to. Like I said, the game, what we enjoyed about the game, and what I enjoyed and I've seen people enjoy playing with other people, is that it has an unpredictable nature because of the sort of blind, bluffing element of card play, but it has a great level of tactics that you can employ. So by choosing the battle cards tactically and choosing the tactic and battle cards tactically, it adds that really strong replayability to the game, plus in conjunction with the new mechanic that they've introduced of the Squadron Cards. These we loved, and just rotating your opponent's cards around to hinder them is brilliantly fun. That, I think, combined with the, like I said, the art is just fantastic. I can't tip my hat enough to the art values of the game. Highly readable. Rules are very clear. So yeah, half an hour card game about the Battle of Britain. It's got that lovely nostalgic feel to the artwork, high replayability, a lot of fun, and it is definitely a fun game. I think where that fun is that element of, I think you're going to do this, so I'm going to try this tactic to see if it works. And just the look on the opponent's player when they think you can see they think they're going to win this round because they've picked, if he'd have picked a bomber there with a 5, and I had then revealed my Spitfires at an 8. Just the look on your opponent's face, and then that's compounded by, oh, now I'm going to start hindering you by rotating your cards, your cards at the back there. It's just brilliantly good fun, and that quick play. Each battle literally it's taking seconds, right? So it's a very fast, quick playing, very decisive game that has that right mixture of. It's definitely that tonal piece of history, but it's fun, it's light, it's quick playing, and in a very small, self-contained package. Perfect game for taking on holiday. I've taken the previous games, which is the Operation Overlord game and the Eastern Front game, taken these camping, and we've sat there in the evening on a rug, just playing little battles like this. Absolutely brilliant fun. So yeah, highly recommended. And as always, thanks for watching.